Alright, now so let's go ahead and move to another part. So after the card, the checkout, the payment with PayPal, and after validating all of that, I guess that I would say the second most thing to do in this project is actually allowing users to book tables, alright, in your coffee shop system. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna set up some kind of form, and then we're gonna grab the data and we're gonna insert it in some kind of model. So it's not actually that big a deal. All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and do this. So this form right here, it's actually in the home. So if I go to resources and if I go to the views, I can click on home right there. All right. Let's just give it a second. I just opened up my text editor right there. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. I just want to copy this. For example, I want to go Control F and I want to go and paste right away. All right, so now we can see this form right there. So for the action, I want to keep this so it will be route of let's see, booking like that. All right, so booking dot tables. And the message right there, it's going to be post course. And right here we will have to set up some names in order to work with this. So the name for this, it will be first underscore name. Let me copy this and let me go down at the bottom right here and paste like that. So this will be last name. All right, and right after this we have the date. So let's paste this like that and we will call this date. All right, so right after this we have the time. And we have the phone right here. All right, so right after this, we simply have the message. So this will be message like that. And the input right here, the type is input. And I'm also going to keep the name as, sorry, the type is submit. And I'm going to keep the name simply submit like that. All right, so just save this. And for the appointment, I want to go and I want to go something like book. All right, instead of just appointment. All right. So let's save this once again. So this should actually refresh automatically. All right after this, I want to go ahead. All right, so yeah, it's telling me basically that this route is right there. It's not defined, and that makes total sense. We want to go ahead to route, and we want to go to web.php, and you want to go down at the bottom and just paste. So if we copy this, for example, I want to go down there. I want to paste this. Let's cut this right there, and I want to add it. All right, so I don't want any kind of middleware. I just want to go ahead and I want to paste this in, which is booking dot tables. All right, so for the link, I just want to go products and I want to go booking like that, or book a table, whatever that you want to call it. So yeah, let me go right there to the success, and I'm gonna keep the success function. I'm gonna change it to book tables like that. All right. So yeah, save this whole thing. All right, so this will refresh. This will be refreshed automatically, and now we will see that the form is gonna work just fine. All right, so there we go. So right after this, I wanna grab the function and I wanna go to my app. I wanna go to HTTP. I wanna go to controllers and I wanna go to products. I want to go to the product, to the products controller. I want to paste this down there. Let me copy this, for example. All right, so I want to paste this in. Let me cut this and paste like that. So we're going to send in some kind of request right there because we're submitting a form. And right after this, I just want to go book tables like that. All right, so and we're going to insert this in some model. We're gonna name this model booking, and we're gonna create it in a minute. All right, we're gonna create, and then we're gonna grab the request all. Well, let's see, I want to go ahead actually and do a check before we even try to insert like that. So what I want to do basically, if we look down here, you can see that we will have a date, of course, for the user to pick from. So we cannot allow the user to simply choose a date in the past. All right, because of course he cannot book something in the past. He has to book it like in the future. All right, so yeah, that makes total sense. All right. So in order to do this, I want to go ahead and I want to, let's say I want to go right there and I want to test and see if the data, let me see, I want to see if the request that's coming from the date right here, or if the data that's coming from the date input ends up passed or not. So all what I'm going to do is just, I'm going to go if request right there, simply if request date like that is greater than the date of the day, which is simply gonna be n/g/y. Alright, so if the date that's coming from the input is greater than the date of today, the date simply right here, the date function will grab the date of today, and it will grab this right here represents the day, and this represents the year. Sorry, this represents the month, and this right here represents the year. All right, so if the date is greater than the date of the day, go ahead and insert the data. All right, and else, that means that this guy is choosing some kind of date in the past. We're gonna actually go ahead and let's say I want to just copy some code. Yeah, we can copy this. We will redirect. We will go to redirect route, and we will go to the home page. All right, and we're gonna go with the message, and that message we're gonna name it, for example, let's see, we're gonna call it date, and we can go choose a date in the future, or it's something like that. We can go invalid date, for example. All right, so yeah, just go ahead and save it like that. And now we want to go ahead, since we're gonna go to the home and we're gonna display this message, we have to go ahead, let's see, and add the code that will allow us to display this message. So if I go to the cart right there, I want to go ahead down at the top, and I want to copy this code. I want to go to the home right now. All right, so I want to display this part. So where should we display it exactly? Should we display it right here at the top? Actually, the whole template does not even have a place to display something like this, in my opinion. It's still great, to display a message in it. So where should we place this exactly? Should we place it like at the top of the form? And all right, we can paste it right there, and this will simply be date. And if we copy this, we can also add it right there and save this whole thing. All right, so now let's go ahead and try and create this this model. Just want to go at the top, and I want to include it. So let me copy this, for example. I want to go right there and paste it. Let me cut this and paste it like that and save. So yeah, if we go right here, and if I go and try PHP artisan make model, and this model will be booking, and press. All right, so now it should create this model. If we go to models, if we go to product, as you can see, it's right there. All right, so if we go to cart, if we copy the whole thing, we do not need to repeat ourselves. So if we go to booking once again, and if we paste this, so the name for this table, that's going to be associated with in the PHPMyAdmin, it's going to be bookings. And I want to go to the fillable, so I want to insert, if we go to the home right there, I want to insert a couple things. So there is the part for the form. I want to insert the first name. Let's see, yeah, it's right here. And I want to go, well, actually, yeah, okay, that's fine. Let's copy this also. All right, so now let's also copy the date. And if we go right there, let's copy the time. Let's copy the phone. All right, so we will need the user ID anyway, so let me just copy this and paste it like that. All right, so this will be phone. So what else? We will have the message, and that's actually everything. So yeah, paste it like that. So yeah, let's save this. Let me copy the first name right now, or actually copy the table. Let's go right there to our PHPMyAdmin. Let's try and create this table right here. All right, so paste this in. Now let's go ahead, copy the first name. Well, actually, this is ID, and the length for this is going to be 10. And let's say this will be an auto increment, and it will be a primary key. There is the first name, and this will be varchar 200. Let's paste this, and this will be last name. All right, so yeah, I pressed enter, All right, so I want to go ahead and I want to change this first. I pressed enter and I did not even want to. So this will be last name. It will be varchar, and it will be 200. All right, so I want to save this. All right, and I want to add like I still want to add a couple of things. So I want to add like 7, let's say 7 columns right here after last name. So if we click go, all right, so right after this I have the date. So let me go varchar, and this will be 200, and right after this I have the time, also will be varchar, and it will be 200. Right after this I have the phone. All right, so this will be integer, and it will be like 30. The message right there should be a kind of text, because it can like take a lot of characters, so we will not even put any links for the characters, because it's going to be unlimited. All right, so right after this I have the user ID, and this will be integer, and it will be 10, 20, All right, so duplicate column name. All right, so let me go ahead and add like 2 columns. Something wrong happened. I pressed the wrong key once again. Kind of ridiculous. So all right, so the user ID is right there. So all what we need is simply 2 columns, so we can finish this up. So we need created at, and this will be timestamp. All right, and this will be current timestamp, and this will be updated. At it will also be a timestamp. It will be current timestamp. If we click save. All right, so there we go. Now let's go ahead and try and let's see. I forgot something that's really important about the form, and that is actually adding the CSRF. So if we go right there, if we go CSRF and save. I also forgot something that's really important. I opened up, I tried to look up, the format of my date, for more information about it. Let's see, let's go down at the bottom, which is this format right there. Because if you're working with the date, you will normally use like M and D. M and D, basically M for month, and D it will be for the day. But right here I used N for the days, and G for the months. Because that's because if we look right here, you can see that there are a lot of formats for the dates. All right, so if you look right here, the N, for example, is for the months, but without a 0. But if you take the M, it will be with a leading 0. All right, so N basically equals a date that sounds like this. All right, simply, for example, something like that. All right, this is what it is. The N slash G slash Y. This is simply the format date right there. But if you go with something like, let's say, D slash M, you will go something like this. You will have a leading zeros, once you insert the data or once you get the data. All right, and I don't want it to be like this. All right, because if we go to our form right there, all right, so there's something wrong with the form. It doesn't matter right now. If you go with the form right there, you will not see any kind of leading zeros. All right, so yeah, this is basically what I'm talking about. We do not need leading zeros. This is why I use the N and G right there. All right, so I hope that makes sense. So what's going on with the form? Basically, if we simply try and do Control F5, simply refresh this. All right, so the form width is basically ruined. If we go ahead and go inspect this, is it because like this div right there? Is it because of that? If we simply comment this div, yeah, it's because of this div right here. So we should cut this div and keep it like at the top right there. And let's now decomment it now, save. All right, so now it's fine. So now let's go ahead and try to insert something. If we go to the last name and if we go to the date, let's choose something like that. And that's actually, let's see. Yeah, that's in the past. I'm choosing right now the 10th of July, which in the past because today is simply 20, all right? And the date, let's pick something like that. The phone number, let's enter some gibberish like that. If we simply copy some kind of text. All right, so this is wrong. So we should actually supposed to see the message right here. All right, the message right there in the controller, invalidate, blah, blah, blah. So if we click book, let's see what's going to happen. All right, so the post method is not supported for products/booking. All right, so we probably messed up something and the link. All right, so this is supposed to be post like that, not get. So yeah, my bad. So as you can see right there, invalidate shows a date in the future, as you can see. So it's not going to be inserting actually, which makes the logic 100% correct. All right, let's click on browser. Let's see if it's going to insert or not, and it's not actually inserting. So let me try and enter something valid right there. All right, so here we go. So there is the date. I'm gonna choose this, so it will be 22nd of July, which is in the future, and I'm gonna choose 1 a.m. and I'm gonna go for the phone right there, and for the message I'm just gonna pick up any kind of message right there, any kind of fake text. And if we click book like that, all right, so field message does not have a default value. All right, so we probably messed up something. If we go, did we add like the name for the message right there? Yeah, we added the name right there. So yeah, we have two names. So this is not valid. We should only have one name like that. All right, so one did not even have any kind of value. So let me go back. I actually want to refresh since we're working with the form. So we're gonna try once again. All right, so I want to go right here. I want to go to the last name, and I'm gonna go and choose a date in the future, and I'm gonna go and enter the phone, and for the message right there, we want to go ahead, copy, and you want to click book. All right, so field this user ID does not have a default value. All right, so I want to go ahead and let's see, I want to do some kind of div right here. So let's see, let me go ahead and copy this div, for example, and I want to add the user ID and some kind of hidden div. All right, so avoid this error. So this will be user underscore ID, and I'm gonna add a value to it. So yeah, I want to go ahead and remove this right here, and I'm gonna go value equals auth user ID, like that. All right, so there we go. I want to keep the type of this simply hidden. All right, so save this. All right, so we have to go ahead and refresh the home, and we want to go and try to insert again. All right, so there's a problem with the design, and that's because of the div that I just added. So I want to even go ahead and remove this, and I want to also remove this. So let's save right now. We will just have some kind of input, and that's all. We're not going to have any kind of divs, not to mess up the design. All right, so, and the div, of course, it's going to be hidden. So yeah, let's go ahead right now and do another try, or give it another try. Hopefully it works this time. So we actually finished the hard part, which is trying to get the logic of the time rate. So the message right there, click book. All right, so this is being ridiculous. So data for column, user ID at row. All right, so request all. Data for column, user ID at row 1. All right, so if we go right here, all right, so there is the value. So nothing is wrong with the value right here. Let's click the structure. Oh, let's see the user ID. All right, so integer 20. That sounds fine to me. So what's going on basically? All right, so just give me a second. All right, so I basically solved the problem. Just go ahead to your user ID right here and change the type of this. Change it, instead of integer, change it to varchar. All right, so after I went ahead and I changed it and I tried to submit the data, I encountered this problem. So it says undefined variable checkout, which is right here, and we should actually check for the book tables variable, not for the checkout. And after we insert, I want to go ahead to the home page. I want to go with the message. So yeah, if we go right here, and I want to go with the message, I will call this message booking, and I'm gonna go, you booked a table successfully. All right, I want to save this, and I want to go to the home, and I want to go at the part of the message, which is right here, and I want to copy this and go right here and paste. So this will be booking, save, and I want to copy this and paste it right there. All right, so yeah, this will actually be everything. So let me go ahead and try this out. All right, so it says forbidden. Yeah, right, we want to go back. All right, we want to go to the home right there. If we click browse right now. All right, so as you can see now, it inserted basically. So we want to go ahead and delete those. Now don't bother with these. Basically, I tried to insert and it worked since I solved the error. All right, so it should work right now. So let me go to the first name. Just gonna go. All right, so let's choose a date in the future. There is the 24th, and there is the time, and there is the phone, and there is simply the message right there. Let me click book. All right, goes to product/pay. Let's go into products. Yeah, right. Sorry about that. It's going to product/pay and should go to the home. So possibly it's working. Yeah, it's inserting actually right here, which is awesome, but it's going to the wrong page now. If we try it out this time, it should actually go to the right page. So if we go like that, and if we go for the date right here, if we go for the time and the phone and the message, click book. All right, so now we're going to the home page and we should actually see our message, which is right here. You booked a table successfully, which is great. Let's now click browse. All right, so as you can see right there, we can actually see our data right here. You know, the date is the most important part. As you can see, the 26th of July, and there is the time, the phone, and all of the other details. So yeah, this will be everything, and I will see you in the next video.